In a dramatic escalation in the war on drugs, President Donald Trump has announced a U.S. military operation that resulted in the death of 11 alleged narco-terrorists linked to drug trafficking from Venezuela. In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump revealed that this operation, carried out in the southern Caribbean, specifically targeted members of the Venezuelan gang known as Tren de Aragua. According to Trump, the vessel that was struck was engaged in transporting illegal narcotics across international waters headed towards the United States. This bold move comes as the Trump administration intensifies its military and political efforts against Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who has faced significant scrutiny and pressure, including a staggering reward of $50 million for information leading to his capture on drug trafficking charges. Maduro has publicly vowed to resist any form of military intervention from the U.S., declaring that Venezuela would fight back. During his remarks to the press in the Oval Office, Trump stated that U.S. forces shot out the boat he described as a drug-carrying vessel situated near Venezuela. He emphasized the substantial amount of narcotics aboard, insisting that this operation sends a strong message against anyone considering smuggling drugs into the United States. Beware, he warned, a clear signal that the U.S. is serious about combating drug-related crime. In his post, he elaborated, "Earlier this morning, on my orders, U.S. military forces conducted a kinetic strike against positively identified Tren de Aragua narco-terrorists in the Southcom area of responsibility." He further confirmed that 11 terrorists were killed during the action, and thankfully, no American forces suffered injuries. To support his announcement, Trump shared a grainy aerial video depicting a boat racing over turbulent waters before erupting in flames. However, the Venezuelan government quickly challenged the authenticity of this footage. Freddy Náñez, the communications minister for Venezuela, insinuated without providing evidence that the video may have been fabricated through artificial intelligence. Conversely, several initial checks conducted by Reuters did not indicate manipulation, although they continue to seek full verification. Secretary of State Marco Rubio corroborated Trump's claims, confirming via a post on social media that a lethal strike had been executed against a drug vessel operated by a recognized narco-terrorist organization off the coast of Venezuela. Yet, there remains uncertainty around what specific drugs the now destroyed vessel was carrying, raising questions about the complicated nature of drug trafficking in this region. Since reclaiming the presidency earlier this year, Trump has actively categorized various drug trafficking organizations and criminal syndicates across Latin America, including those in Mexico, as terrorist entities. This has been part of a broader strategy to justify the deportation of Venezuelans who are alleged to pose a criminal threat. However, on a challenging note for his administration, a recent ruling by a U.S. appeals court determined that Trump could not invoke an archaic 18th century wartime law to hasten these deportations. In addition to Tren de Aragua, Trump has set his sights on the Cartel of the Suns, a group he alleges is linked to Maduro and populated by high-ranking Venezuelan officials, some of whom are affiliated with military or intelligence sectors. With growing urgency, the U.S. military has bolstered its presence in the southern Caribbean over the past couple of months, deploying additional naval assets and thousands of Marines and sailors. This shift illustrates the administration's willingness to exert force in an effort to halt the flow of narcotics into the U.S. Trump ominously remarked, "There's more where that came from," suggesting that further military actions could be in the pipeline. In response to these developments, Venezuela's leadership has expressed outrage, with Maduro warning that any U.S. attack might result in declaring a republic in arms, characterizing the U.S.'s military presence as the most significant threat to the continent in a century. Interestingly, that is not the only side of Trump's policy toward Venezuela. Reports indicate that he has allowed the U.S. company Chevron to continue its operations within the country, partnering with Venezuela's state-owned oil enterprise, PDVSA. This aspect of Trump's approach adds another layer of complexity to the already multifaceted relationship between the two nations. Is the aggressive military strategy a necessary response to the drug crisis, or does it risk escalating tensions unnecessarily? What do you think? Feel free to share your opinions below.